Welcome to Messatators in the Morning, where we judge Tater's facial expressions. Oh, you look like that, huh?
So you can see where the water came up to last night, just right below that fire pit there. Not too much buffer between our boats and the tent. And as of this morning, water level has gone all the way down to over there.
Just here, drinking coffee, taking care of the other survival tasks like braiding hair.
Can you believe after 2 long years of growing it out, your hair is finally barely long enough to braid?
I'm basically her Barbie doll, I think. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. I don't think she likes my hair, but not my singing, apparently.
That's a nice braid.
In a Barbie world. It's kind of shocking just how much beach we gained. So Taters is actually missing the high water. You can see it's back down there and it got all the way up there last night. But that means we had to carry our boats way back there. That site was the only thing above water. The water came up to those rocks. Finally got Taters out of bed and we are launching at 11:36 a.m. Almost p.m.
Oh, such a nice relaxing trip.
You've got about 5 hours until it gets dark. So we're already above Arizona Hot Springs here. We're just gonna go motor on up to Hoover Dam, and then we may go in and see one of the hot springs. Jen was not excited for the hot springs because she said it was gonna be too cold, but now that it's actually fairly warm, now she's getting around to the hot springs. But it's warm enough, we could literally swim in the river, which was not like this last time we were here. Problem with water like this is then you have to hear Taters go on and on about how it's magical. See, she just talk. So far, your word count is 14 words, I think, so.
So magical.
There actually is a fair amount of current.
Yeah. So in addition to having super calm, clear water and being able to see a whole bunch of those huge fish, which Matt thinks maybe they're carp, swimming around, which is really cool, we're also getting into a more dramatic part of the canyon. So I love having the steep cliffs on either side where you can actually see under the water, going all the way down to the bottom. Just a really, really neat feeling, a really magical morning.
Hey, stalactite. That's kind of cool. Or a root. Maybe it's just a root with gravity. You know, because my root, when you add gravity, never mind. So this is Boy Scout Canyon, which is the access to Boy Scout Hot Spring, which is the cooler hot spring that we visited last time. Last time we actually camped up there. There's a single tent site, so there were people over there, but we actually had privacy. And obviously we didn't have to worry about the water running up and over us. We are going to probably visit it on the way back because there's probably like 40 people up in the hot spring right at the moment. And you know, I'm fine, but somebody's antisocial. So that bridge is around Hoover Dam. We can only go so far up here because there's actually a security zone around Hoover because, you know, 9/11, yada, yada. But we can get up relatively close. If you pay the park service, or I think there's individual vendors, you can get dropped off up here and go all the way down, which is like 12, 13 miles. There's actually a hot spring cave up here we're going to visit, and Gold Strike Hot Springs is up here, but it's kind of lame. So there's a little waterfall here and we could see some sandbags, so we're going to climb up there and see if we can get like a little private hot spring. Looks like there's a ramp over here. Huh. Most of these hot springs get a little adventurous. But it's okay, she's wearing Crocs that should have been thrown away 3 years ago, so. So there's a pool, but just not much of one. Ankle deep. And it's warm, not hot. But Jen's happy because she said there's a waterfall.
Yeah, that totally makes this an awesome hot spring.
We figured as long as we're up here, we might as well see if there's others. So we just ran into somebody who said they came from the road and this is called Lone Pine Canyon. Though I would, or Lone Palm Tree. Though I would point out there are multiple palm trees here, technically. So this looks like it's the actual start of this particular spring. It's just kind of seeping out of the ground. So this is a pool somebody built, which looks like it's the best one back here.
Matt, Matt beat me into the hot spring. This is a really nice one. Not as big of a waterfall as the other one, but it does have a little waterfall.
It probably has that brain-eating amoeba.
And it's, oh yeah, don't put your head underwater here. Yeah, this is really nice with the little waterfall coming in. I think even Matt's looking pretty thoroughly relaxed.
So after the incident last night, Jen is super nervous that the water's going to come up and the boats are going to get swept away. So she just ran down to take a look at them. Look at that climb down to it. Wow, wow, wow. So magical. The water out here is just spectacular when the wind's not going. Unfortunately, the wind will be going tomorrow because we'll be going downstream. And we're going to have to fight our entire way down. Right, Jen?
No, we are going to have a smooth, sailing, easy downriver ride.
Never happen. And Taters is happy. So we had a really nice time just hanging out, sat in the hot spring for a while. And now we're going to head up towards Hoover. So the funny thing is we figured, oh, this is going to be private. This one, you know, Gold Strike's busy, but there'll be nobody here. And we climbed up, got back there, and somebody was hiking down to the spring just as we got there. It turns out there is a trail on all trails. So this is Gold Strike, which we weren't too impressed by last time. And there's a lot of day hikers. We're going to go up as far as we can here. So that's the sauna cave. Basically, they were starting to drill in and they ended up hitting some really, really warm water. And so they abandoned it and drilled it elsewhere. So this is about as close as you can get to Hoover Dam. If you pay and you have an outfitter drop you off, you actually come in here. You're only allowed to be on that area for about 15 minutes and then you have to launch and go down. Scale of Hoover Dam is pretty amazing from the top, but from down here it just looks really cool. Sadly, this is the point where we got to turn back, but on the plus side, now we get to paddle downhill, downstream. And having spent the last day and a half paddling against the current, it is really nice going with the current. Hopefully tomorrow we don't end up fighting the wind like last time. Our nice easy paddle out ended up being fight for every inch. Now we're talking. Oh. Except we're gonna do a hands-free traffic accident here. So usually people are respectful about sites, usually. So we had been looking forward to another night here, but it looks like somebody jumped our campsite while we're out. There's a group of about like 10 boats who are basically right behind us and keep tromping through our tent. So we're gonna pack up and find some other place to set up. It's a little before dark and we are packed up. One of the people did come over and apologize and blamed it on the kids, but they didn't offer to leave. I did stop Taters from peeing in their canoe and then saying sorry it was the kids and not stopping them because, you know, they didn't stop their kids, but bad Taters. So this is Arizona Hot Springs, the place we didn't want to stay because there were probably over 100 people last night. It's popular, it has bathrooms, it has a hot spring that's not bad other than it's crowded. We're going to go down below and see if we can find another place to set up that's a little more private. I am currently highly annoyed because that guy came over and apologized, so they knew it was wrong, but then blamed it on his kids. Hey Jen, does this mean we're getting one of those Tater scumbag talks around Home Sweet Home? I think they qualify. The sun's going to be going down here and we're just trying to find an unoccupied spot. We do have current picking up, so the water line's going to be going. Jen's just seeing if there's a campsite there. So we found another unoccupied option a little ways south of Arizona Hot Springs that we're thinking of calling camp. Hey, those other guys were assholes. It's funny watching the water because it churns up all over the place. And paddling along, we were sailing really smooth until the water started to let go. So you're okay with calling this camp? Hey, those other guys are really assholes? Scumbag! I would be holding my fist up, and I've got a lot of... What?
Don't
What?
put that on YouTube.
Oh, hey, catchphrase. The closest you got on the CDT to that was when you had that tick on your boob. And you were dealing with it. And then I was filming from the back, and you're like, yeah. Hi, Jen. So Taters was so traumatized by the water rising last night that we're now over a berm way back. And there's no way the water can come up that high. Or will it? Dun, dun, dun. So guys, I'm sad to tell you that the internet has now given Taters PTSD. Ever since she got yelled at for saying she didn't like people with campfires, now she's afraid to say the word scumbag. And I just got a telling saying not to call those other assholes over there scumbags because the internet would be mad at me. Oh, ooh, hey, that guy's behind me again.
I'm not calling anyone a scumbag anymore.
Oh, but people loved it when you called them scum. Well, the people that she called scumbags didn't love that, but everybody. Remember when you like saw the things carved in the tree and you were so pissed off you couldn't like form a sentence for like 20 minutes, and then you spent like 11 minutes ranting into the camera about how much they were scumbags, and nope. So Jen's theory, which I think might be correct, is that they are releasing water to generate hydroelectricity when the solar panels fire down for the night. And that does seem to match because the water was really, really calm when we were up at the dam, and then it started flowing as the sun was going down.
All right, so forgot to take this earlier, but we did find a nice little cove that we have to ourselves.
After we were chased out of the other one.
And the water level did rise a little bit, but not as much as last night, we think. Home sweet home for the night.